Hey boo! Thanks so much for coming back to BREEDSTYLE. On today's episode, girl, we are going to be talking about the comfort zone.
You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better. I dare you to be wilder.
The comfort zone. This is something that I have been talking about and thinking about so often lately as I have been pursuing my goal of weight loss. And there's a greater reason, and I think we're going to hop into it, but one of the greatest things that we can do is understand why we are doing what we are doing. And over the past few weeks, I have been really thinking about this on my walks. As I go about my day, I have really been pondering on this idea of why am I doing what I'm doing? And I want to share with you guys because I think that it's so important for us to understand that in order for us to get success. So as I think back when I started teaching, I was so excited. I was so gung-ho and I was so invested in the idea of going into teaching and, you know, changing the lives of others. But one thing I didn't realize about the profession is that it does not allow time for you to take care of yourself for most people, especially if you have children. So one of the things that I really struggled with as I was teaching was taking time for myself. And I started picking up habits that I normally would not do because of the stress and anxiousness that I was feeling around teaching. And basically, I was undoing every bit of progress that I ever had in the past, and I wasn't taking care of myself. Reflecting back on that time, I didn't realize that usually I would come home, take care of my kids, I'm ripping, I'm running. I felt like I was working so hard from sun up to sundown. I would then start grading and doing all the things. And then after I would grade and put everything in, I remember I would take all that homework, huge stacks of homework, and put it in my, my little book bag. And then after that, I would go to the kitchen and I would get some alcohol and I would drink and I would try to numb out the pain, stress, and anxiety that I was feeling at work. And I was undoing all of the progress that I had in the past. You know, I went on a weight loss journey, I got all the weight off, and then I had my second baby. But even as I had my second child, I was taking care of myself. I wasn't working at the time. I was taking care of myself. I was eating. I was working. I was actually teaching online. I was an online teacher, and that allowed me the freedom, and being an entrepreneur allowed me the freedom to be able to take care of myself a little bit better. And when I started teaching, I realized that in taking care of my students, taking care of my kids, taking care of my family, taking care of my husband, there was absolutely no time for me to take care of myself. And so I remember snuggling down in my bed with my alcoholic drink and a bag of sunflower seeds and some chips, and I would just watch reel after reel after reel, and I'm just eating. And I didn't even think about the impact that it was having on my body at the time. I felt comfortable. But the reality is, the thing about the comfort zone is it deceives us. It has us thinking that we somehow, some way are in a comfortable place when really we are creating a life for ourselves that's making ourselves so uncomfortable. So as I was doing all this eating and drinking, I started gaining weight. I started getting more depressed. And I remember my breaking point with alcohol. My breaking point was, I remember teaching all day and all this stress, and I was, I remember there was like a field trip coming up, 2 field trips coming up. I had report cards due. I had parents emailing me and blowing up my phone and all this stuff. And I was so stressed out. And I remember I just was drinking vodka one night. And I was knocking back the drinks. And mind you, I'm not no young buck. I'm 34 years old. So the fact that, you know, I realized over time, I can't handle alcohol the way that I once did. And I remember I was drinking this alcohol and I was so out of my head drunk that I laid down on the floor like this. I was just laying down on the floor and I was thinking, you are too old for this. Like, you are too old for this. Girl, like, what are you doing? Like, I remember that night, I was like, this has gotten so out of control. I was so sick that I actually threw up. And I share that with you because it wasn't until I stepped back and I stepped out of that I realized, like, girl, you were actually killing yourself trying to take care of everybody else and not take care of yourself. And while you felt comfortable in that time, you felt cozy in your bed, you were actually creating a life for yourself that was leading down a destructive path. The comfort zone is the failure zone. The comfort zone, feeling comfortable, having nothing to aspire to, having no goals for yourself, not taking care of yourself is a path to failure. It's not comfortable. And as you gain weight and feel sick and feel tired, it's like you realize, like, I have failed at this point in my life. And until you step outside of that comfort zone, you're going to continue to feel like crap. When you allow food and alcohol to dominate and control your life, you know, it got me thinking. I get comments all the time on social media, on Facebook and Instagram, and I get comments like, you know, I struggle to do this. I struggle to do that. I struggle to drink water. I struggle to go to bed. I struggle to exercise. I struggle to walk. I struggle to eat healthy. I struggle to eat vegetables. And I think about it, and it's like, girl, you're more pressed to pick up an excuse than you are to pick up a goal. You're more pressed to pick up a reason why you can't do something than to pick up a goal and an aspiration and to work hard towards that goal. And the reason why losing weight and being healthy is so important to me is because I remember when I lost all the weight on Weight Watchers, which, mind you, is not where I'm going to be this time. This time, I'm losing weight for the last time, and this time, I'm going to get down to a weight to where I am not having to yo-yo on this roller coaster anymore. This is the last time that I'm going through this journey. I'm done having kids, as far as I know. Now, if I end up having another kid because that's what God ordained for my life and I have to start over again, then I just start over again and I just incorporate these habits and I make it work. But as I would allow, I don't want any more children. And so as I hope that this is the last time that I will have to lose weight and be on this journey. But when we realize what God has said about us, that we are more than conquerors in Him, that we can do all things through Him who gives us the strength, that the joy of the Lord is our strength. When we start focusing on ourselves, focusing on God, putting our habits into place that lead us towards a path of success and not failure, it's very, very easy to reach your goals. You know, I want to continue to strive to push harder, to do better. You know, when you get in a place where you're no longer striving for anything, you're just trying to survive, that is not a place that you want to be. So teachers, as you go into the summer, I implore you, take this 3 months and do not laminate stuff. Do not create things for your classroom. Do not focus on trying to get all this stuff done before you go back into the classroom. What you need to focus on for this next 3 months is putting habits into place that you will be able to continue with ease throughout the school year. And had I done that, I would have been a lot more successful both in my teaching journey as well as in my health and fitness journey. One thing that I really wanted to share is we have to stop with the limiting self-talk. You know, I struggle to drink water. That's not a struggle, girl. We have become in our society so weak-minded, myself included. You know, I was allowing all these excuses to get in the way of what it is that I needed to do. You're just like, oh, you know, I can't drink water. Girl, drinking water is nothing more than pouring the water in the cup and sipping it down. It's as simple as that. We make it hard because in our head and in our mind, we're thinking, I can't do this. I can't do this. This is hard. This is hard. Flip it on its head and start thinking, you know, water is not my favorite thing, but I know it's healthy for me, so I'm going to do what I got to do. You got to get a backbone. And I remember telling my students this all the time. Get a backbone. We have got to stop believing all of this negativity in our head and start believing, yes, I can. Yes, I can get up and walk. Yes, I can eat vegetables. I have a problem. I struggle with eating vegetables. Girl, like, vegetables are put on this earth to fill up our body with nutrients and energy. Without vegetables, I could never be successful on a weight loss journey. I watched this lady last night. She lost 100 pounds and she got the gastric bypass surgery. And she was talking about how she had started gaining weight back. And she was talking about, you know, the fact that, you know, she tried before she got on the, before she did the weight loss surgery, she did a 3-month all juice cleanse where all she drank and ate for 3 months was liquid juice. And it's like, girl, we have got to get outside of these fads. Atkins and keto and, you know, even with Weight Watchers is kind of designed because they keep changing it up. It's like you got to keep coming back and trying this and trying that. Like, it's very simple. All it is just tracking what you eat, getting your walking in, and taking care of yourself. That's it. And the more, I remember when I first started this weight loss journey, I was 223 pounds. And I remember that first week, I was so hungry. Like, I was so hungry. And I remember thinking, dang, man, I'm starving. But are you really? At 223 pounds and you're eating, you know, 1,700 calories a day, are you really starving? No, it's just you have trained your mind into thinking that you need more food than you need. So you have to take it one step at a time, one day at a time, one win at a time, and get in the calories that you're supposed to get in and no more. Don't make a bunch of excuses. Oh, my period is coming up. Oh, I don't feel good. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, this, oh, that. Every time you think of an excuse in your brain, stop and say, you can even say out loud, stop with the excuses. You're not weak. You are strong. You have been through a lot in your life. You can do this. You can. You will. Like, we have to change our mindset. And I even see it with children. This coddling of children. This inability to tell children, no, we are not doing this. No, you may not have this. No. And with love and with grace. You know, I'm not giving my child Skittles and soda every day. You're just not. You're not doing that. Had I had the upbringing that I have given to my children, I wouldn't be struggling with my weight to this day. Do I tell my kids, oh, you have to be on a 1,200 calorie diet? Of course not. They just, all they know is rice, beans, food, meat, real food. You know, I read this meme the other day that said we have grown so accustomed as a society in eating junk food that when we eat real food, it's like we're on a diet. We're not on a diet. We're just eating what God put on the earth for us to eat. Vegetables, fruit, meat. If you're a vegetarian, vegetables and fruit. Do you know what I'm saying? It was all placed here for us to consume. And then after the introduction of all this man-made junk, McDonald's, Wendy's, fast food this, fast food that, gotta get it, gotta get it. It's like after all of that, we find ourselves sick, tired, depressed, and diseased. And, you know, I'm not saying you should feel shame for having a cheeseburger. What I'm saying is, if we just eat real food more often than not, we're gonna be in a healthier place. You know, and it's not difficult. We just got to get a backbone. You just got to get a backbone. And it's not enough just to start, you know, your weight loss journey and to try to, you know, you set a goal, but then you don't have another goal. You're just happy and content and comfortable right where you are at this goal. No, once you have mastered it, once it is easy, once it is no longer a challenge, bump it up. No pain, no gain. You know, and I know this is coming off as like real talk right now. But it's just the reality. We got to get real about what we're eating. It's a lot of people like that girl that I was watching last night. She's talking about she started gaining weight back after weight loss surgery. Yeah, because you just said that you got a bag of Skittles in your desk and you're starting to eat Skittles all the time. You can't. You just can't. You have to shift your mindset. Now we put healthy food in our body, and then every now and again, you know, you have a treat. But even with the cheat day mentality that I used to have, I've even learned to shift that around. Do I really need a whole day of eating junk, feeding my addiction that I used to have? Oh my God, I gotta go to McDonald's and eat a burger. I have not had a real deal Holyfield cheat day like I used to have in a very long time. My goals are different. My goals are different. Now I have a goal of living a healthy lifestyle for the rest of my life. I no longer aspire to, on a Saturday, undo all the work that I just did. I don't want to gain 4 or 5 pounds on a Saturday just because food tastes good. I got to eat everything that tastes good. No, I don't need it. I don't need it. Because just like the alcohol, the food addiction is just as real. And until we get the mental strength and fortitude to get a backbone and say, I'm not going to be doing this to my body anymore, we're going to stay stuck in this rabbit hole loop of just eating junk, eating junk. And you're comfortable, but are you really? Are you really comfortable? Because I tell you, at 223 pounds, 5'2", I was not comfortable at all. And I'm still working towards my goal. I'm still, you know, trying to get all this weight off, and I know I'll get there because I am laser focused on what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. Taking care of yourself is the single best thing that you can do for yourself and your family. As a mom, we sometimes get in the habit of being all about our kids. Only thing we do, everything we do, we just want to do more activities for our kids. Take them here, take them there, you know, give them this, give them that. And it's like, at the end of the day, your kids are not going to be able to receive from you if you're dead in the ground, because you didn't take care of yourself. And I refuse to live a life where when my children, you know, get older and they are starting to have babies of their own, that I'm, you know, incapacitated for reasons of my own. Now, granted, life happens. You never know what can happen, right? But I want to be able to say that I did everything that I could do to be there for my kids when they start having children of their own. We are totally hindering ourselves with our comfort zone. And it's the reason why I put down alcohol, and I will not pick it back up again. I will not. I mean, granted, I wasn't addicted to alcohol, and there's a difference. There really is a difference. Addiction is real, and if you have to get help, you have to get help. That's totally different. But just drinking alcohol for fun, to feel good, to escape, to me, girl, you're dabbling and you're playing with fire, because as something where it could turn from just a fun drink to now we're moving into alcohol abuse, to now we're moving into a full-blown alcohol addiction. That's not where I want to live my life. You're waking up dehydrated, you're waking up sick, you're not feeling good, you have no energy to do what you're supposed to do, and you wonder, what is it? It's the alcohol. It's the alcohol. Just stop. Just stop. It's okay. It's not fun. You think it's fun? It's not. You know, and I'm talking to myself there, like, you know, I see comments on other people's YouTube videos who are on weight loss journeys or whatever, and people like, well, it seems like you don't have no life since you started losing weight. You know, you don't go out and party, you don't do this. It's like, girl, I'm too old for that anyway. I'm just gonna keep it a book. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm 34 years old. I don't have time to be going out. And you know, I got 2 kids. I don't have time to be going out to the clubs and stuff. Girl, that ship has totally sailed, okay? I had my fun. And I ain't going back to that. Do you feel me? Like, I'm too grown. And it's not fun to me. Girl, the last time I went to the club, I was probably like 20 years old, and I just remember thinking, all the young kids in here, this is just, it's no longer fun to me. I'm not saying that you can't have fun in your life, but our focus cannot be food is something that we reward ourselves with. Like, let's get a different reward. Let's get a different treat. Like, we can reward ourselves. We should reward ourselves. When we work hard, that reward should be there. But it doesn't have to be alcohol, and it doesn't have to be food. It could be a massage. It could be a facial. It could be getting your nails done. It could be going shopping for some nice clothes that fit now because you've taken care of yourself. We could just start rewarding ourselves in different ways. So what I want to leave with you is this fragility that we have of saying, my foot hurts, my leg hurts, my back hurts, I struggle with this, I struggle with that. Get rid of it. Get rid of all the excuses, because they're not serving anyone, and the only person that they are appeasing is yourself. They aren't appeasing anybody around you. Everybody hears it. It's just what it is. It's an excuse. Don't, as a woman, don't let, you know, your monthly cycle or menopause or all these different things that society tells us, oh, you know, you're going to be like this at this point in your cycle. You're going to be like that when you hit menopause. You're going to be this, that, and the third. Don't let none of that get into your brain, because you are so much greater. You are so much more capable than the excuses and the lies that the world will tell you. When you start believing what God has said about you, when you start really putting his word in your heart and really believing the truth that God has told you, that you are made in the image of him. I mean, how much more amazing could you be? Any more amazing if you tried. And so I think that whenever we unzip these excuses and we take off this costume, and what is left inside of us is the real deal, who we are. When we get real with ourselves about who we really are. I remember I told myself, I'm like, girl, especially at the beginning, I'm like, girl, you're just lazy. You're just lazy. That's really it. You're lazy. You don't want to do what you're supposed to do. You don't want to eat healthy. Just say that. You don't want to challenge yourself. Just say that. You know? And when you actually say it and you recognize, a lot of people, they be confused, like, I don't know why I'm gaining weight. I don't get it. Girl, you're eating too much. Just be real with yourself. And the more real you are with yourself, then you can start saying, you know what? Yeah, that's who I used to be, but this is who I am now. I'm a person that wakes up and I get my exercise in. You don't have to go all ham, egg, and cheese in the gym and going crazy doing burpees and all that stuff I used to do in my 20s. You don't have to do all that. You can just put your sneakers on, fill up your water cup, get your keys, and go for a walk. And start doing it every single morning at the same exact time. And don't let yourself make no excuses about, oh, it's raining outside, oh, it's cold outside. Honey, you ain't made of sugar, you're not gonna melt. Just get the steps in. Get the steps in and start there. And then you can start saying, okay, well, dang, just with steps alone, I done lost 5 pounds. Now let me go on ahead and get this water in. Now let me go ahead and get this protein in. Okay, now I can start tracking my calories. All right, how much am I really eating? All right, you know, and just all throughout the week, cutting out the fast food. Just make yourself a plate of food. Girl, just stop being lazy and make yourself a plate of food. Make yourself some rice and some beans and some meat and some salad. And just, you know, you got to eat good food, though. That thing. I was thinking, this salad that I make every day for lunch is so good. You know, I think, how could I mess this up? I can mess it up with some bland tilapia. I can mess it up with some bland chicken. Put some seasoning on it, girl. Ain't no calories in the seasoning. Put some seasoning on it. Make it lit. But track it and figure out what kind of calories is in it. You know, too much sour cream? Too much cheese? Just make it good with the salsa and the hot sauce and the, girl, just make it good. Make your food something that you want to eat. And when you just eat real food, you'll find that, dang, it's not as hard to lose weight as I thought. It's really Chick-fil-A. McDonald's is the problem. Taco Bell is the problem. The alcohol is the issue. And when you eliminate those things, you'll find out very, very quickly how easy it is to get where you want to be. So, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, give me one of these emojis, one of the strong arm emojis, because you are strong and you can do this. And I believe in you. And I know that if you just start believing what God has said about you, you will reach your goals as well. And you'll be coming back, you'll be saying, B. Reed, I did it. Okay, please like this video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe if you find my content helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Show you what a good time looks like. You can do better. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better. I dare you to be wild.